Good morning. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go back now to Mangaung. Aldrin Sampear standing by for you, part of our continuing coverage ahead of the State of the Nation address on Thursday. Aldrin, good morning. What are people there saying about what they're hoping for on Thursday evening?
Well, Stephen, a very good morning to you. And it's all about the build-up, right, to the State of the Nation address, as we hear from various stakeholders about what their expectations are. But early on, we're speaking to the provincial manager of the South African Human Rights Commission, Mr. Modise, speaking about what's happening in the province, but also what is plaguing this particular metro that we're in. Remember that the Free State is amongst the provinces that have been listed with some of the worst performing metros, some of those metros, worst performing municipalities rather, and one of those municipalities is this particular metro, Mangaung, which has been placed under administration. Remember back in 2019 there was the provincial intervention, and then in 2022 there was the national intervention that was made. But there seems to be some progress, at least that's the sense that I got from the South African Human Rights Commission when we spoke to them a bit earlier on. I'm now joined by Gregory Ntatisi, who is the mayor of the metro. And it's just been, just over a year now since you've been in this position?
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of instability in the metro. Very good morning to you, Mayor. But how would you describe the metro now?
Well, let me say, when the intervention team left, they left us with a financial recovery plan. In it, it had 4 cardinal points. One of which was to stabilize governance, the second was to deal with service delivery, and the third was to look into our finances, and the fourth one was to look into institutional stability. And I can indicate that on the side of getting our governance in order, we have made serious inroads. When it comes to the issue of institutional instability, we are now stabilizing the institution. We have so far managed to get all the HODs and they're in operation. We are now looking at the middle management in ensuring that our systems are well oiled. We have addressed the issues of service delivery, particularly on sewer spillages. Water still remains a problem, not on the basis that we can't provide, but on the basis that we are an inland metro that still sees the community growing, and our dams and our services are beginning to be limited in terms of provision of water.
Let's pause on the water issue, because some residents have also raised issues with it's either sometimes they don't have water or there's the low pressure water. And we know with the ANC's January 8th statement, the president also mentioned amongst the key priorities would be dealing with fixing local municipalities, but also ensuring water and electricity security is in place. What led the metro to where it is now when it comes to the water challenges?
Well, let me put it this way. We should have had a pipeline coming from Harib Dam to mitigate the scarcity of water. Our problem is not the infrastructure per se. Our problem is that we are a water scarcity city that would need alleviation from sources of water. And since 2013, there has been a plan to pull a pipe from Harib Dam, and for that matter, planning and engineering work was done. We are now motivating to national to demonstrate that the communities are growing and water resources are limited, and that pipe is as now needed as early as yesterday. So we do have meetings on a regular basis. It used to be on a daily basis. Now it's on each Friday with a team of deputy ministers and ministers to look into 2 critical things: water and sanitation. So we literally have put a compelling case that resources will be literally needed, because the amount of money needed to really generate water and generate the issue of sanitation would amounts to close to 3 and 4, which is about 7+ billion rand that the metro would need in order to.
And where's that money going to come from?
Well, of course, national department. Remember, we are under Section 139. Yeah. So we have cleared what the financial recovery plan is expecting out of us, and the intervention that must now come from national is to literally address those aspects that led to the metro being declared 139 and under subsection 7. So those engagement are literally tapping with where the money is, because from our side, there's no new money that we can put
So
into
does
place.
that mean, while you don't have that money, unfortunately for these residents, they will still continue to experience the intermittent water cuts, and then also this issue around the pressure of that water being low?
No, we literally had to engage our institutions of learning to look at what other mitigating circumstances that could come into place. So we have discovered that certain areas in the metro can provide with underground water, where we can create reservoirs so that at the point when it is dry like it is now, we then can resort to underground water and utilize those reservoirs.
Yeah.
But those measures are measures that would actually literally try and salvage that we do have water on a routine basis, but it's not sustainable.
Yeah. And we know how important water is.
It's life.
It's life, yeah.
Absolutely.
Whether we speak about the residents or we even speak about business, you have an investment summit that is coming up later on this month. What assurance then do you give investors to say that, yes, we have challenges here when it comes to water and sanitation, but this is the right metro to be investing in?
Look, we have collated all experts in the metro, including our institution of learning, prior to the investment summit. And part of why we are doing that is that we are going to navigate the best modalities and compelling cases to the user department at the national level to understand our plight and to ensure that they give us a commitment which we must sell to our investors. But equally so, we are also looking at the investors bringing, ideas and the money that could also intervene. Because it's not just that we should provide those services.
Yeah.
These are part of investable and bankable projects that they can come into. So literally bringing them in, particularly at the area of investment. Water, sanitation, and other related aspects like roads are literally things that investors can also look at investing in.
And that's part of what Operation Vulindlela is trying to achieve as well. But in
Absolutely.
conclusion, the President delivers the State of the Nation address on Thursday. As the mayor of this particular metro, what is it that you'd like to hear from the President?
Well, look, for starters, the President is running an institution that's called a Government of National Unity. And I expect that we need to give the President the support in terms of ensuring that he actually brings those projects that will help provide services to communities, because that's our brief. If there's anything that we need to do and see is to make sure that our communities, wherever they are, they really receive services, people get land, issues of informal settlement are looked into, our infrastructure up to scratch. But in the main, I also am looking at the President encouraging local business that will be supported by international investors to literally come in and see South Africa as that rough diamond and virgin land that is open to all, and that people must begin to really utilize the resources that we have, and they be processed internally by bringing factories. I expect the President to really ensure that we are doing well as a country.
Gregory Mtadisi, thank you so much for making time for us, the Executive Mayor of the Mangaung Metro. And let's see whether some of these expectations would be fulfilled when the President delivers the State of the Nation address later on this week, on Thursday. But as we are expecting, that the expectation is that local government will take center stage. And I guess from the January 8th statement, it's quite clear, considering that it's also part of the 6 key priorities that was listed by the ANC NEC.
Thank you very much indeed, Aldrin Sampear in Mangaung for you this morning.